What's up, everybody? It's Uncle Kurt, Triad Hip Hop Podcast. Just want to do a quick video, on our Lost in Thought segment. I just have, I've been really noticing, I've been seeing a lot of people who are pretty much slamming my man Ice Cube for, because the Trump campaign basically has been talking about how he working with them with their, platinum plan for the black community and all of this stuff. And, there's a lot of misconceptions going on and a lot of hate. And I really just feel like, it's really unnecessary. You know what I mean? So I just want to kind of talk about that real quick. But, I don't understand. You know what I mean? For me, it's like, what are y'all mad about? You know what I mean? What exactly are you mad about? I mean, because basically he made his own contract with Black America of the issues that he saw that, we were needing in our overall, societal needs or whatever, economic needs and all of that good stuff. And, he proposed something, but now everybody's mad because who is Ice Cube? He don't speak for me. My thing is, if he did nothing, everybody complains, because then it's a matter of, we don't have any leaders. We don't have any leadership. Nobody's stepping up to the plate. Nobody's doing anything. Nobody's trying to make a difference. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about in leadership. You know what I mean? Of course, you got protesters and people speaking out in the streets, but I'm saying a lot of people's complaint when nobody does something major is always we got a lack of leadership. But then now that he does something to try to take leadership and says, okay, here are the things that I see that black people are always talking about that we need. Let's see if we can get those done. Let me make up an actual official contract and put it to some of these people in leadership positions to see what they do. And, he proposed a deal with both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. The Democratic Party did respond. They told him, we want to work with you and we see a lot of good in what you're doing. But right now we're a little swamped with the election. So as soon as the election is over, we can start working with you on that. And that's how they left it. And then he proposed it to the Republican Party, and they said, okay, we do like what you're doing. We want to try to embrace some of this stuff. And so supposedly they made some amendments to their deal, their platinum plan, immediately. I don't know. I don't think they made any major amendments, but, they took some small steps. So Ice Cube was like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? This is what happened. I proposed it to these guys, and that's what they said. I proposed it to these guys, and that's what they said. And because Trump's people are the only ones who actually said we're willing to do a little bit right now, everybody's mad because now Trump's campaign people are saying, well, Ice Cube is working with us. He helped us develop the platinum plan. Yeah. Now, they probably are exaggerating that a little bit because he didn't help them develop that platinum plan. You know what I mean? What he did was propose to them, this is what I think we need as far as what I see going on in the black community. Will you embrace that or any of it? And, they said, okay, we do see a couple of things that we can embrace, so let's try it. Now, my thing is, it feels like when it comes to the black community, and I hate to say this about my own people, but a lot of times we can't make up our mind. We cannot get on one accord. You know what I mean? Do you want somebody to step up in a leadership position and make an attempt? Or would you prefer nobody said nothing because you didn't get to pick who you wanted for the leader? You know what I mean? It seems like we people like that, we can't win. You know what I mean? Ice Cube and somebody like that, anybody who's trying to step up, they can't win because there's always going to be somebody says, you're not good enough to speak for us. I see so many tweets and posts about people saying shit like, oh, well, Ice Cube don't speak to me or speak for me. Who is he? You know, he's not our leader. I mean, yeah, he's not some sort of spiritual or religious leader who has always had a leadership position, but the man is passionate about helping our cause and our agenda. You know what I mean? No, he didn't go over it with every single one of us and say, hey, what do you think? But he looked at the broad spectrum of things and said, here's the things that I see that at least I know the majority of people want to get done in the black community. And he left it at that. You know what I mean? He got his contract online. You can go look at it for yourself. The Trump people have their plan online. Joe Biden has his plan online. You can go look at all three of these plans and see what works for you. And that's the thing. You got to go with what works for you. It doesn't matter what somebody's doing. If you don't agree with it, don't agree with it. I mean, plain and simple. But y'all don't have to tear this man down just for making an effort. He's just making an effort. Can we at least applaud his effort? You know what I mean? It seems like everybody just jumps right to, fuck him. He ain't nobody. I don't know him. He don't speak for me. He ain't no leader. I mean, so you would feel better if somebody like a Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson or one of them did it? The thing is, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. If the shit in the paperwork is the shit you can agree on, then it shouldn't matter who brings it to attention. I don't care if it's Kanye West. I don't care who it is. And I don't care. It's just like what Ice Cube said. He said our issues are bipartisan issues. They're bipartisan issues. So that, and for those of you who may not understand that term, that means that it does not matter which side we get the help from. You know what I mean? It's not, our issues are not Democratic or Republican issues. They're bipartisan. So it doesn't matter who comes and says, I want to help. You know, and that's another thing. A lot of people are probably going to say, oh, well, you know, Trump has never been on our side for real. And I get that. You know what I mean? He ain't never been on our side for real. I can agree with that. You know what I mean? Trump's is not, he's not genuine. You know what I mean? He's not sincere. But if he puts some shit on paper and makes it official and it becomes a law that will actually benefit us, nigga, sign on the dotted line. I don't care if you tell me Hitler is proposing something for the black community. Sign on the dotted line. You know what I mean? I don't care who it comes from. If they're willing to take that one step, let them take it. It should not matter. So that's my thing. I just don't understand why people are so, you know, in their feelings about Ice Cube and you know, really running him through the ringer. I don't get it. You know what I mean? These politicians, I mean, people like Trump and Biden and all of them, they use us to a certain degree for their political gain. So why not use them for ours? That's my whole question. Because no matter who you vote for, whether you say, well, Biden is more sincere and I think he'll really do something, that's fine. He may be. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not here to sway your vote one way or another. But like I said, whoever is willing to step up to the plate and say, I want to do something concrete for the black community because they deserve it. He could turn around after he signed that paper and say they all niggas. I don't care. I don't care if he say that shit. You already put that shit into a law. That's on you. If you put into a law that we need reparations, I'm all for it. You can turn around the next day and say, I hate all black people. Oh, well, it's a law, nigga. You made it a law. Period. So, you know, I'm with Cube on that, in that the fact that he says it shouldn't matter where the help comes from. It's about him, Ice Cube, making an effort to say whoever wants to take a hold of this and run with it, let's do it. You know what I mean? Let's do it. So, sorry, I had some notes. I'm just making sure I'm covering everything. But, you know, like I said, you know, I don't even think Ice Cube is saying that he agrees with all of, like Trump's politics or none of that shit. You know what I mean? He's not saying, well, yeah, I'm going out and voting for Trump. Mr. Trump is the man. And he he's just basically saying, I'm presenting it to whoever wants to hear it. And if they're willing to hear it, then let them hear it. This is a completely different issue than voting for Trump or voting for Biden or voting for anybody. He's just saying whoever's willing to listen and actually take this serious, I'm gonna rock with them at least to get this done. You know what I mean? At least to get this done. So I applaud him, and I'm gonna keep supporting that. You know what I mean? I think that, I think for everybody, I would encourage you, go online, find Biden's plan for the black community, find Trump's plan for the black community, that whole platinum plan thing. Find Ice Cube's contract with Black America. Read through each one of them. If you want to be a part of this and voice your opinion, then you need to be educated on what's in that paperwork so you can make the concrete decision and say, okay, here's what I think needs to happen, and this is what I'm leaning more towards. And even outside of that, that still doesn't have to sway your vote per se. Hell, you can be supportive of Trump's platinum plan and still not vote for him. You know what I mean? Because that still may not be enough for you, but you may still say, I like what he's trying to do. But you don't necessarily have to vote for him. You might be in favor of Biden's plan, but you still may not want to vote for him. But you can still say, hey, I like what he's doing. I hope that at least that part gets done, whether he's the president or not. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm not going to sit here and criticize somebody like Ice Cube when, I'm not in any position to approach somebody from the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. They're not going to listen to me, average Joe, on a podcast. Ice Cube is using his leverage to make something happen. So I really don't care what everybody else says. I think we have to at least examine what he's trying to do and be supportive to a degree. You know what I mean? And if you can't be fully supportive of what he's doing, at least don't tear the man down. Hell, I'm not tearing Trump down. I don't agree with Trump at all. But I'm not going to tear him down on his little platinum plan. He may not have the greatest plan, but at least he did something. He came up with something. You know what I mean? And it's up to us to read through it and say, okay, here's what I think. Is he serious or is he full of shit? Make an important decision for your own life, man. But my thing is this: before you criticize anybody for what they do, the question I have for you is, what have you done? What exactly have you done? When have you approached somebody in a high position like that and said, hey, here's what we need to get done? And show me some results. You know what I mean? If you got some results, I'm happy to hear them. We're all happy to hear them because we just want to see results. We don't care where it's coming from. Any smart person wouldn't care where the help is coming from. We need the help. Like I said, I don't care who it's coming from. So ask yourself that question. What have you done before you start telling people what they should not do or can't do or are wrong for doing? You know what I mean? No disrespect to anybody, just saying, but I'm a fan of educating myself. You know what I mean? I don't have a PhD or master's degree in any of that, but I educate myself on a daily basis. You can bet your life on that. That's on everything. I'm an avid reader, and when something is presented to me that I think will be beneficial to my mental and spiritual health, I'm reading it, period. So that's all I can say, man. I encourage y'all to go check out, all the plans that they have in place to see what you lean more towards. Don't speak until you know what's going on around you. You know what I mean? Don't just jump to criticism. You know what I mean? We're not about that. If we want to be smart, we got to actually be educated. You know what I mean? So for Triad Hip Hop Podcast, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. If you have any questions or need to contact us, don't forget, you can email us at therealtriadhiphoppodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Instagram. You can hit us up on Facebook. You can hit us up on YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, Anchor, the app on Anchor, everything. We're all over the place. You know what I mean? We may not be the biggest podcast, but we're speaking our voices and letting things be known and just trying to keep things relevant and keep bringing you what's relevant in the culture. So thank you for listening. This is your man, Uncle Kurt. We'll see you next time. Peace.